Alright, so this is it. The start of my solo world trip to Asia, which is insane. I woke up pretty early this morning, so I guess I'm really excited to start this trip. The strange thing is that I've been working so hard to get everything ready for the world trip, and now all of a sudden I can start. It's just a matter of turning the key and go. First of all, welcome to all the new subscribers. I'm Eric, and yes, I'm going on a solo world trip to Asia with my Defender 110. I rebuilt it into a overland camper. You can rewatch all the episodes. There are 17 of them. I already did a world trip, but that one ended in North Iraq because of COVID. But we're not going to talk about that anymore because we're going to focus on the world trip that starts today. I will tell you a little bit about my route, but first, just let me get the final things and throw them in the car. Alright, so here are a few things I have in the fridge. First of all, let me show them to you. Some fresh strawberries from my dad's garden. Thanks, Dad. Nice. And what else is there? Cheese, of course. I'm Dutch. And oh look, even more cheese. So I have bottles of cold water, which is always good. Let me just rearrange this like so. And I already prepared my evening meal, but I'll keep that a secret for later. Here's some apple juice and apples if I don't want to drink juice but eat a normal apple, or first have an apple and then apple juice. Okay, anyhow, that's kind of it. It's not much, but they have supermarkets all over the world, so I'll be fine. Alright, so about my travel plans, they're not really detailed, but there's a good reason for that, because I want to have the freedom of traveling wherever I want to go. So to give you an idea, right now I am in Groningen. I'm going to go via Belgium to France, then to Italy. And in Italy, I'm going to make the decision if I'm going to go via the Balkan Peninsula, or I'm going to go all the way down to South Italy and take the ferry to Albania. After that, I'm going to travel via Greece to Turkey, and once I'm in Turkey, I'll see. I don't know which way I'm going to go. The destination I have in mind right now is, of course, the Netherlands, because I am going to return, but the pin is set for Nepal. There are a few options, but I'm going to make that decision once I'm in Turkey. Everything is packed. I hope you're ready, because I am. Here we go. This is insane. Alright, let's go. Okay, so here's the irony. I'm just a couple of kilometers away from home and I'm already having car troubles. Oh man, it's not really a big deal, but I noticed that the hazard lights aren't working, but the radio isn't working as well. Alright, so not working? Not working. I already checked the main fuse because I thought that was the problem, but it's not, luckily, because I only have a couple of spare big fuses, so hopefully it's one of the little fuses. So I'm guessing that the fuse for the hazard lights was just loose, but they're working again. But this little one, that's foobar. Right. And yay! So I left the highway, you can see it behind me, and I found this nice little spot with some cows in the background, and I gave them something nice to look at, a pretty Defender. So this is an awesome spot for some lunch. Also, the weather is turning really bad. To give you an idea, I'm currently halfway the Netherlands, so I've just passed a place called Zwolle, and now it's actually starting to rain. Now you can see it. That doesn't look good. Oh boy. So I don't know what to do. It's really hard to follow where the worst rain is going, but I'm guessing I'm right in the center of it. Figures. Alright, first let me grab me some lunch. I'll deal with the rain later. I had my lunch, and the heavy rain is going west, so I'm thinking about going east towards the German border. So I'm going to drive for about 1 hour, and after that I'm going to see if there is a pretty campsite nearby Arnhem. Alright, here we go, and say goodbye to the cows. Bye cows. Everybody else just say bye to the creepy observing cows. Bye. The pretty wet and rainy area I'm driving through right now is called the Veluwe, and with over 90,000 hectares, the Veluwe is the largest contiguous nature reserve in Europe, and it's also used by the Dutch military. There's a little sign that says "Schietterrein levensgevaarlijk." In other words, don't climb the fence. My plan to outrun the rain, well, I think it kind of failed, because look at this, just keeps on going and going. Man. Okay, that's it people, I really had it with the rain. This is the campsite I'm going to stay at tonight. I think you can summarize today's road trip in 2 words, which are rain and traffic jams. And that's it. And now I'm really hungry. Right, so I've decided to do it. I'm going to prepare my meal. I don't know why I made such a big deal out of it, like I was going to impress you guys, but this is what I made. It's just regular pasta. But, you know, I only have to throw it in the pan and then I can eat it. So I'm going to do it inside the car. Oh, let me just grab the good old stove. Like so. And now, all right. There's only one rule. Don't set the car on fire. All right, let me see how I'm going to do this. Don't set the car on fire. I have to admit, it's been a while since I've used the Coleman, so I was a bit rusty, but, well, you figured that out already. But look at this. Pasta. Oh man. The burner is doing great. This is going to be so good. There it is. And in case you thought I forgot about the cheese, I didn't. Nice. Gordon Ramsay would be proud of me. But I guess every Italian would probably send me to jail for calling this pasta, but we're not in Italy, right? So, in other good news, it stopped raining after 6 hours, so cheers to that. And now I'm going to enjoy my meal and call it a day. Good morning. So, last night, all of a sudden the sky cleared, so I quickly put up the rooftop tent. So I didn't have to sleep in the back of the car, which was nice. And now it's time for some coffee, some breakfast, then fold the rooftop tent, get everything ready, and hit the road again. Well, that was a pretty rough start of the world trip. I did not expect that, but I survived, and the first night in the rooftop tent, well, it was kind of getting used to, but you know, eventually in time everything was going to be okay. And now I found this really nice spot, as you can see, somewhere in the forest, because I already drove a few kilometers, and you know, it's time to take it slow because yesterday, well, it took a lot of energy, so I gotta really learn to relax, because I notice that I want to go too fast. Hurry. But you know, this world trip isn't about hurrying, it's about slowing down. So there it is, the cheese sandwich. As part of my lunch, I also had a banana. And I have a funny story. I didn't tell you what happened yesterday, but first let me... Who's this? Be right back. About yesterday, when I left, I spotted my sister driving down the same road, which was a coincidence, so we stopped and said goodbye again, and then I drove off. And all of a sudden I noticed she left this inside my car. So now there's a grown man driving around planet Earth with a teddy bear. Thanks, sis. All is good. Here we go. What on earth am I doing? Gee, I thought we agreed to slow down, Eric. So, this is what happened. I drove to the campsite in Ape. Told myself to go from 5th gear to 3rd gear, but instead I went to 6th gear. You know, everything happened so fast, I forgot to film everything, and then, you know, I really told myself to stop. And that's what I did. So that's the whole reason I didn't film anything, because, you know, there was nothing to film, because all I did was slow down and relax. So, change of plans, have fun, and go slow. Here we go. Belgium, here we come. Right now I'm over here, pretty close to the Belgian border, which I'm going to cross here, then make my way down east, close to the German border, and then go over here, and cross the border with Luxembourg, right over there. Alright, so just for the record, I'm about to enter Belgium. And here's the price. Ta-da! Driving through the hills of Belgium is so much fun. I remember these roads because I used to go here with my motorcycle. And in this case, it's just as much fun with the Defender. So now I'm just slowly going down. They got the car in 4 and just use the engine for braking. Alright, so currently I'm in Malmedy. This is the view. No, it's much prettier here. So, apparently I was having so much fun driving the Belgian roads that I'm almost in Luxembourg. I know, it's a big shock to me as well. I mean, 2 border crossings in one day? What an improvement! So, I was just driving and following the navigation, and then, I was kind of curious where I was, and oh, hold on, the Luxembourg border is, I think, about a 10-minute drive from here. So first I'm going to have some lunch. Cheese sandwich. And I also gathered a little crowd.
Well, I've been down so long that my mind can't get no rest. No, I've been down so long that my mind can't get no rest. No.
That was a lot of fun. Had a mind-blowing discussion with my new friends about the meaning of life and, their point of view. Amazing. So, I also had a little bit of a déjà vu, because do you remember anything with cows and bad weather? Well, let's hope it's not going to happen twice. Alright, let's head to the Luxembourg border. It's right over there. Luxembourg. Let me do a little dance. For those who are not familiar with driving through Europe, you're probably wondering how it's possible for me to just go from one country to another without being checked by the border police. Well, it has everything to do with the Schengen Agreement, which is kind of funny because it's called the Schengen Agreement because it was signed here in Luxembourg in a place called Schengen. It means that over 400 million European citizens can freely move through 26 European countries. So it's just a matter of go and drive from one country to another. Easy peasy.
When the devil's out to get you, you better pray and run slow. Oh
no. Well, that was a bit of an adventure, right? Man, I think I'm going to end it here, but before you leave, I have a few very interesting facts, because did you know that right now I am in the richest country in the world? It's also one of the smaller countries, and their national flag, well, they just stole it from us because it's almost identical to the Dutch flag. They didn't steal it. The only difference is that the blue is a little bit lighter, but it's pretty much identical. Alright, so I hope I earned your subscription. If I did, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments down below, and I will answer them. That's it. Now I have to find a place to sleep. Okay. Bye.